can DM us and just let us know that you are interested in that type of content, and then I can definitely refer you to a couple Instagram people who are interested in that type of content. So what's up, guys? We're back with another video. So today we're actually going to be doing a Q&A. We received a ton of questions for you guys.
Y'all were shy at first.
Right, but eventually y'all got it together, so thank you. The questions that we've received have been interesting
to say the least.
Y'all some of y'all trifling, and I'm gonna get you all the way together.
Do you know you say trifling in every video?
Because that's my word.
You guys ask the craziest questions.
No, call it what it is. It's trifling.
Whatever. Before we get started, if you haven't got a chance to watch our last video, go make sure you check that out. Make sure you comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when we're posting. Because there's so many questions, we're actually going to do a part 2. So we plan on doing it on live. So just depending on how much love you guys show this video. So make sure you check it out, share it, and give us some feedback. But we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna go back and forth. I'll ask Jarius his questions. He'll ask me my questions, and you will get to see our answers. So, when did you know you were in love?
Do you really want me to tell them when I knew I was in love with you? Can I give them the real? I'm gonna give y'all the real.
Oh my goodness.
So I knew I was in love with Terrell when Terrell went to jail.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I plead the...
No. So basically we were, this was in 2012.
Trumped up charges.
This was in like 2012, and long story short, Terrell, we were living in an apartment together, and the apartment was only in my name.
And they owed me money, and I turned a little
Rihanna. This is my question.
Okay. Well, you talking about me?
The apartment complex. We had actually did some work over the summer with moving furniture through the different apartments and stuff, and they actually were supposed to pay us. Well, when we got into our apartment, they were saying that Terrell had a balance from his old apartment, and basically they couldn't let him get a new apartment without clearing his old apartment balance first.
They want me to be great.
Okay, so cool. So you ain't about to stop nothing, so he was living with me anyway. That's my man. So we living together and whatnot. And then one day, I get a package.
Mm-hmm.
And then Terrell answers the door naked. Were you naked?
No.
I could have swore you was naked.
Okay, so Jarius is butchering this story. So, long story short, I ended up going. I stayed a night on some stupid charges.
He called me from the jail crying.
Charges were dropped. I called him, and it was one moment where he was all emotional because the little lady came and said, you have 30 more seconds. And he was about to cry. And, at that moment, that's when he said that, he knew that he loved me. Next question.
No, ain't no next question. Tara called me crying, and I thought that they was going to get my baby up in there. So I was like, I wish it was me. So, I tried to go to jail too. I almost got into it with the police officer because they didn't want to believe me. So I almost went to jail, and then, that's when I knew I was in love, because I stayed at the jail. Next question.
Look at me now.
How are bills/chores split? Oh, wait.
I think I'm all.
When did?
Breadwinner. Hey.
When did you know you were in love with me?
No, I'm not answering. That was your question. So, how are bills and chores
know when you was in love with me, babe.
I'll tell you later. Bills and chores are split. We actually just implemented this kind of new system, budgeting system. We're trying to budget better since we've had kids, because we used to kind of just splurge on whatever. So money just comes straight out of our check, direct deposit to a joint account, and all our bills come from that. So no questioning, we budget for groceries, everything, diapers, the nanny, just whatever. Everything, we kind of add up our bills, gas, and we just put it in there. And then the rest of our money from our checks come to our accounts, and it's don't ask, don't tell.
No, it ain't no don't ask and don't tell, but it's
Next
our
case.
personal money.
Have you ever cheated?
So technically, I did not cheat on Terrell. We did have.
Let me shut this camera off.
We had a very compromising situation.
On whose part?
On our part.
I ain't have no parts in it.
Basically, we. This was back in 2012.
When I almost went to jail the first time.
Basically, I had a situation in which me and Terrell broke up, and I really thought that was the end of our relationship, and I can't be single. I don't know how to be, so that's a flaw of mine, and I knew someone who was interested in talking to me, and I pursued it. And then Terrell came back and shut it down, and then that's the end of the story.
Oh, you would want to speed through that story, but talk about my jail experience.
Next case.
Just know if this person is watching, it's still beef.
You are so petty. Ooh, petty. This is a good one. How do you stay positive when receiving hatred because of your sexual preference?
Because I'm rich. I knocked the camera.
You do it when you got the coins.
You don't have any worries. No, you have to find your own happy place and joy within your surroundings. And once you do that, honestly, outside comments and hatred really doesn't matter. It's actually funny to see it nowadays, because you guys actually, anytime somebody says something negative, it's like a swarm of people are commenting before we even have the chance to. So thank you guys for that. But it really doesn't bother me. Just staying positive. It bothers Jarius. Jarius always has to, clap back, or he wants to say something. I just am.
Our best friends are watching, and y'all know what the truth is.
I'm just unbothered by certain situations. But I would say for other people, focus on what makes you happy, and all that other stuff, doesn't really matter. Especially when you're hitting your goals. Give them something to talk about.
Boom.
At what moment did you realize you were ready for kids?
When Terrell told me we were ready for kids.
That part.
Actually, I struggled with it because I really just felt like I wanted to be as prepared as possible for kids, and really and truthfully, like, there's just really no way to know when you're 100% prepared to have kids, because every child is different. Like, you can read all the books in the world, but it's just nothing that can truly prepare you for children, especially not two of them. But
Wouldn't trade them.
Wouldn't trade them for the world. But yeah, so I mean, we just kind of talked about it, and we actually made an agreement. It wasn't
an agreement. It was a strict compromise.
It was a
where
compromise.
Jarius said, "We can't have kids until you get a house." And
Yep.
You know what I did? House. And then shortly after, we got the house in June. In October, we was having a baby. So I kept my part, and we moved forward.
The next question is, what advice would you give your teenage self?
It wasn't your turn, but I'll answer. I would tell my teenage self,
I wish I could answer this one.
Will you answer?
I would tell my teenage self that you got it and that you gonna make it. All the stuff that is seeming to be important to you right now, what you care about, you aren't gonna care about a couple years from now, and that life is going to be amazing for you. That's what I would tell myself. Not worrying about these people who you think are important, because look at them now, look at them now, look at them now, you know, and look at me now. I'm winning. Oh. Yes, I'm winning.
I would tell my teenage self, keep going. You already know what's up.
You had it like that?
I always knew that I was going to be great.
Okay. Yep. I would tell my teenage self I'm winning.
Would you ever donate your sperm to a lesbian couple?
Ooh.
So controversial.
Okay, so I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
No.
And
you know, it's almost like a. I think that's a compliment. Y'all would take, me.
They'll take me probably. You know, dark skin winning right now. Whatever. But the reason that I would not be able to do it is because it's not a possibility for me to be a child's parent and not know. So I wouldn't do it anonymously, and truthfully, like, I wouldn't be able to do it for a friend either, because I would just want to be. Which sounds
so terrible, because we had to ask a surrogate to do that for us. But some people are built for it and some people aren't.
Yeah, perfect answer.
And I'm not built for it.
I want to be in my kid's life no matter what, and I just wouldn't be able to deal with having a child out there that I'm not a part of. So I wouldn't be able to do it for myself, but I do appreciate those who are able to do it, and we do thank you guys, because you helped us build our family, so we appreciate it. How has your life changed from dating to being married to having children? How was it changed?
How has it changed?
How has it changed your way of living?
Okay, so going from dating to being married is a big step. So a lot of people used to say, like, oh, when you get married, like, it's going to feel different. So Jarius and I have been together forever before we actually got married. And it does feel like a difference to go from my boyfriend to my fiance to my husband. It's different. I feel like you can.
How is it different?
Because I feel like you can not get away with, but
the
expectation is different when you have a title, when you have a ring, when you make a commitment. Just like to, being a parent, it's different whenever you have somebody's child that you're babysitting and then they go home with their parent. And I would say it's almost the same with being married. As a boyfriend, you think, okay, like, this is my boyfriend, or, this is my girlfriend. And in your head you want it to last, but it may not last. But you're not tied down. You're in a relationship, but you don't have a commitment. If one of you aren't feeling it, you kind of just separate. As a fiance, you're kind of like, oh, okay, like, this is getting a little serious, a slight commitment. And then what I say with getting married, like, to go and make vows, and commit yourself to someone in front of God, I feel like is serious. To commit to being with them through whatever, and through arguments and
remember that
their bad habits and attitudes and things like that. You have to remember that I'm in this, and I can't just walk out the door like I used to be able to 4 years ago. And then becoming a parent is the exact same way. I think that we definitely changed when we became parents, because our kids are our main focus at all times. It's so crazy. We used to be the life of the party, which I feel like we still are when we host, when people come here. But we have to keep in mind a lot of what we do, or even say, can't get back to our kids, or
Yeah.
you know, we just always have to keep them in mind and make sure that we're putting on a positive image and have their best interests at all times. So a lot of stuff we have to miss out on because we have kids, and we're okay with that. Maybe at that exact moment we may feel like, dang, because we're out in Atlanta and we don't really have a lot of family here, and you know, but it's all worth it. Like, I wouldn't trade a moment with my kids. They're amazing.
Love them down.
So that's how life has changed. Why did you choose Atlanta to raise a family with all the stereotypes based on Black gay couples here?
There's a lot of them. Ultimately, it just came down to we just wanted a lot for ourselves. We had big dreams of like a really nice house, and Atlanta has a phenomenal housing market. So we were able to come right out of college and, you know, purchase pretty much like our dream home.
It's not a dream home now.
Yeah, because we actually about to buy another house. But ultimately, it came down to the housing market. Being that Atlanta is so gay friendly, that was super important to us because we wanted to be in an area where it wasn't uncommon to have two dads dropping their kids off to school or two mothers dropping their kids off to school. You know, we wanted it to be somewhere where we would fit in, so to speak. And then what else? What else? Why did we choose Atlanta? Because I wanted to be in the city.
He came for, I bought him for his birthday. Was it your 20th, 21st? 20th birthday? And, you know, and then he came back for training for his job, and he fell in love with it. I wasn't necessarily set on Atlanta, but like he said, the main reason was the housing market. And we knew that we wanted to raise a family, so we wanted to be somewhere where it was comfortable, and it wasn't unheard of. We wouldn't went to any city or state where it's frowned upon, so to speak.
Or we get dirty looks and stuff like that. Which, I mean, you're going to get that everywhere, but like at least here, you know, in the city of Atlanta, like at least it's not like too much of a taboo, you know. Yeah. So next question. The next question is, do you want more kids? Y'all, look. You know,
about 3 more.
Ooh.
No, I really don't want 3 more. Maybe 1 or 2.
I was there with him on the 1 or 2. 1. I was there with you on the 1 until we got 2 at the same time. Well, 5 weeks apart. And
which, never mind. You will see vacation.
Yet.
But yeah, 1 to 2. We're still young.
I don't want to.
We'll be what, 30? And they'll be 5? That's actually when people start having kids.
I don't want to be
early.
I don't want to be, you know.
And then they can help with them.
I don't want to be 30 years old and having kids. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's shade. I hope nobody over 30 watching.
You know,
you think you're too old, baby.
No shade, but me, I don't want to be over 30 or 30 years old, like still having children. Like,
so what if Ashton and Arya ask for a sibling?
What you mean, ask for one? They have one.
And they gonna get tired of each other.
Okay, and then they have Chloe, they have JoJo, and they have Rocky. They already have 3 other siblings. So yeah, we done. We have 3 dogs, 2 children, and a couple goldfish. So
it's done. Whatever. We're having 2 more kids. Y'all stay tuned. We'll document it all. Do people ever like one of us more than the other? I mean,
yes, they do. I mean, everybody have a preference. So some people prefer Terrell over me. Some people prefer me over
majority.
Terrell. Whatever. At the end of the day, we both married and don't want none of y'all. So
why do they prefer me?
You trying it.
Why do they prefer me? This is a question.
That's not the question.
Well, it's a follow-up.
You don't ask follow-ups.
The person wants to know, I'm sure.
Because we are both attractive, which is why some people prefer me and some people prefer you.
I wasn't even thinking from attraction. Just personality. Who do you guys like more?
What do you? So you mean like more? It could be like a friend.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Because I'm not all that friendly with people. And the reason that let me explain. The reason that I'm like that is because, you kind of friendly with people. You know what I'm saying? And
I put good juju into the world.
Terrell is very, he's so nice to everyone, and he's just so, like you seem cool, we can be friends, blah blah blah.
That is not true.
Well, let me not say friends, but you just you give people the benefit of the doubt, whereas I need to vet you first, especially because I don't like any and everybody around my man. I don't want any and everybody around my children, around my family or nothing like that. So I just feel like because Terrell is so overly nice that I have to be more reserved, because then I have to watch you, because are you gonna try to take advantage of him? I gotta make sure that I'm protecting my family. It's a protection thing.
Short answer was people prefer me. Last question. I really don't agree with this question. We're just going to put it out there. I'm actually going to answer it first. I'm going to give my take on it, and then Jarius will just finish it out.
What question? This question? Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm going to get y'all right on together, but I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Y'all probably already know the question. So, I feel like it's really inappropriate / disrespectful to ask people sexual questions, because sexual questions as in preferences.
I'm gonna exit.
And I think that you wouldn't necessarily ask just a random person on the street, what do they do in their room when you're not around. And that's how I feel about that question. I feel like that's a question if you are gonna date somebody. If you're gonna date somebody, I feel like you may want to ask that question, make sure you're compatible, I guess. But I think that I would just be mindful of asking what people do in their bedroom to just random people, because it may come off a little weird. Just a little weird, I guess is what I'll say. So yeah, I'm not going to answer that. I'm sure Jarius is going to give you guys his take on it if he comes back. But
I'm coming back.
That's my take on it. Don't ask those questions unless you're like on Jacked or something.
Let me say this. Jarius and Terrell and Jarius, whichever way that you want to order that, okay? We ain't that type of couple, and I do mean we ain't that type of couple, okay? I don't know what you guys are looking for.
Aren't.
I don't care what you guys are looking for, but you are definitely not going to find that from Terrell and Jarius. We're not.
I actually pride myself in that, I don't have to post half-naked photos to get likes.
You are never going to come to Terrell and Jarius' page and find us shirtless or find us.
Well, babe, when I get my body right.
In an inappropriate way.
I may take
You're never going to find us shirtless or, in our underwear or, partaking in, festivities in your bedroom with people that aren't your significant other. No shade. But, we just not that couple. So I just feel like, don't ask me that. You don't need to worry about anything that's going on up in my bedroom with my husband. So I just feel like, you should ask those type of questions to the people that you are interested in, because you are definitely not interested in Jarius and Terrell and Jarius, whatever way you want to order it again. So, with that being said, if you are looking for that type of content, I will definitely, you can reach out to us, you can drop a comment, you can DM us and just let us know that you are interested in that type of content, and then I can definitely refer you to a couple Instagram people who are interested in that type of content. So, don't
So, concludes part 1 of our Q&A. Thank you guys so much for sending in questions. Like we said, we will do a part 2, probably on live, but only if we get some love on this post. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you tell us. We got some more challenges coming your way, just depending on how I edit and post this. But we will see you guys soon. We love y'all.
Bye. Asking us some questions.